Hi everyone, so I'm going to decoupage this cute candle I got at Walmart recently. I took the napkin that I have, which is adorable, and took it into the store to match the color. I think it's going to look fabulous. First thing we're going to do though is we're going to paint the lid, and this napkin is just going to go right there on the top of the lid and drape over the sides. So first thing is just some white acrylic paint. This is going to allow a little bit of the green to come through. If that is not something you want, you can try doing 2 coats of paint or using some chalk paint, which is going to be a little bit thicker. But for today, I'm just using the white acrylic paint. Don't worry at all about the brush strokes that you see on here. When it dries, it won't be terribly noticeable, and honestly, the napkin is going to cover most of that up. You won't see them at all. I'm doing my best to try to not get the paint on the underside of the lip here, but even if I do, it's not the end of the world because it's going to be covered, or it'll be underneath, and you'll never see it even when the lid is on the napkin, or sorry, on the jar itself. So while we're waiting for the paint to dry, I'm just going to go ahead and prepare the napkin. These are normally 3-ply. Sometimes you'll find some that are 2-ply, but we only need the top layer. So we're just going to peel off the extra, and then we're left with this nice thin napkin. And from here, I don't need the whole thing, so just going to cut out a square. There we go. When we get to the point of applying it to the lid, this is really going to help us a lot, is using this plastic piece. It's going to keep everything in place. So now we have the dried lid, and the first thing we need to do is apply a little bit of Mod Podge, which is our glue. I'm using matte here, but you could use gloss if you want something a little shinier, or if you want to use it instead of varnish at the very end of the project. And yes, I did speed up the video a little bit here to cover just the top, not the sides. So now we have our napkin face down, because when we put it on, we're going to flip it over so it'll be right side up. And I'm just going to spray a little bit of water, not a whole lot, just enough to moisten the whole thing so I can get it stuck to the plastic. And this will require just a tad bit of stretching to make sure it's nice and flat. Oops. Oh well, I don't need it. All right, so now we're just going to position this over the lid where I want that big parrot's crown to sit, and I'm just going to leave the plastic in place, but use my finger lightly to spread everything out and make it nice and flat. Then using a little bit of another piece of plastic to smooth it further is going to help, again, make sure all the bubbles and creases are out. But again, if there's a couple of creases, it really is going to matter. And then we peel this off, and voila. But what we have is a wet napkin. So we're going to have to dry it. At this point, we're not going to tear any of the edges off because it's going to get draped over the side when we come back after it's had a chance to dry. So we'll just set this here for now. It's about 10 minutes to dry. So now we have a dried piece, and this will make sure that the napkin doesn't rip when we apply more glue to the side. And this time we're just going to apply it on top. And using the brush to attach it on that edge. And you can see right here how those crown of feathers on the front, they kind of fall over the side, and I think that's a really nice touch. And just keep going around the edge. Just be patient with yourself. Again, you're not tucking it inside. It's going to sit right around that edge. And now I'm just using a little bit more of the plastic. Leave the plastic in place and just rub my finger across. And that's, again, just to get out some of those creases. You do want to make sure that it's not doubled up, because I don't want it to dry that way. I just want it nice and draped over the side. And once this has a chance to dry again, we'll come back and sand off the excess. So it's been about 10 minutes, and now we're just going to sand off the excess. So wherever the napkin went further than that lip, I'm just going through with, frankly, a dollar store nail file to get all of that off. And make sure everything's attached and there's nothing lifting. And that's it. So at this point, we could be done. We just need to peel the label off of the candle. Better Homes and Gardens has definitely figured out that people like to craft at home with their stuff. So they've made it really, really easy to take off the labels. And now we have this fantastic candle. Now, I personally like a little more protection, so I actually am going to varnish this. If you don't have any varnish, you can go ahead and go over it with a couple light coats of the Mod Podge gloss. But what I'm using is the Liquitex gloss varnish, and I love Liquitex. It is just a premium brand, and the quality of the results is just leaps and bounds over anything else. And that's not to say that if you use something else, it's going to be bad. It's not. This is just my personal preference. So we're putting some more of the, I'm applying a coat of the gloss varnish here to the top and then to the sides as well. Again, you don't have to get underneath that at all, just a light coat around the side. This is going to make sure that everything's down, everything's protected. The varnish is going to add a little bit of water protection, not a lot, but enough. And that takes about 20 minutes to dry, and then we are literally all done. It's your choice if you wanted to do more than one coat, but for this project, I'm really just doing the one. You can see that the green came through underneath the napkin, which I actually like. It gives it a little bit more of a rustic feel. Looks like it was meant to be this way. But I love it. I think it matches the napkin or the candle jar great, and it's going to look great on my shelf.